Navigating boundaries. What is not acceptable? In this episode, we dive into the critical topic of personal and professional boundaries, discussing what behaviors are deemed unacceptable in various contexts. Join us as we explore real-life examples, share insights, and empower listeners to stand firm in their principles.
Alright, so today we're diving into the fascinating world of feedback, specifically something known as the 406 not acceptable errors. Now, you might think it sounds like some computer jargon, but it's actually a really profound concept when you think about it. Imagine trying to connect with someone, but there's this invisible wall that says, "Nope, not today." It's like when you're sending a text to a friend, and the message just doesn't go through. The frustration is real.
Wow, yeah, I can totally relate to that. It's like when you're waiting for an important email or something, like, that feeling of just hitting refresh over and over. But was it ever actually a real thing in tech? Like, what causes this 406 not acceptable?
Great question. So think of it this way. When your server, or your computer really, is trying to communicate with another server, it's asking for information or resources. Sometimes, the receiving server goes, whoa, I don't understand what you're sending me. So it sends back that 406 not acceptable status. It's like getting a text back that's just...
Right. So it's like trying to explain your favorite movie to someone who just doesn't like that genre at all. They're just like, nope, can't even. But what happens if it keeps happening? Like, can't they just reset or something?
Exactly. It's very much like failing to communicate properly. Now, if it keeps happening, the server needs some serious troubleshooting. Sometimes that means checking settings, or maybe even resetting things, the digital equivalent of clearing your throat before asking a question.
Haha. I love that analogy. Clearing your throat, like, can you give me a real-world example of how people might encounter 406 not acceptable in their lives outside of tech? Maybe the whole communicating thing?
Absolutely. Picture this. You're at a restaurant, and you order a dish that contains shrimp, but you're allergic to shellfish. The server comes back and says, "Sorry, we can't make that without shellfish." That's a 406 moment. Your request isn't acceptable due to a clear mismatch with what's on offer. Instead, they could propose something else. Maybe a grilled chicken option instead. It's all about aligning what's requested with what's possible.
Oh, that makes total sense. It's like trying to get a pizza at a vegan restaurant, and they're just like, we don't do that. So how can people, say, at work or in personal relationships, avoid these 406 not acceptable moments?
Well, that's the key. Open communication is crucial. I like to say that asking clarifying questions up front is like using a GPS instead of a paper map. It saves you potential detours. For example, if you're collaborating on a project, hash out expectations at the beginning. That way, you're steering clear of friction later on. Imagine trying to build a roller coaster, but one side thinks it's a merry-go-round. Chaos!
Haha, wow. That's a wild picture. A roller coaster versus a merry-go-round sounds like a recipe for disaster. But what if, after all that clarifying, something still goes wrong?
That's life, right? Even with the best intentions, surprises can happen. That's when you channel your inner problem solver. Go back to the drawing board. It's about being adaptable. Much like improvising when the Wi-Fi goes down during a video call. You just pivot with a hotspot.
A hotspot? I've been there. So, like, the key takeaway here is to keep the communication open, be adaptable, and make sure everyone's on the same page?
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about avoiding the 406 not acceptable situation, but really about building authentic connections. Think of every interaction as a two-way street. If someone puts up a sign that says, "No entry," find out why before attempting to drive through it.
Wow, I love that image. It's so important to be kind of intuitive about what works between people. That's some valuable wisdom right there.
I'm glad you think so. These concepts might sound technical, but they mirror our everyday lives. The more we understand them, the better we can relate, right?
Totally. It's like, an epiphany. The connection between tech and life is so much closer than I thought. I'm really excited to learn more.